Hi, I'm Erica, and welcome to my channel. Normally I just throw these in my regular wrap up, but I was thinking maybe for Read-o-Rama I would do like a daily wrap up. And then I finished this book and decided that it needed its own review. Anyway, so the first day of Read-o-Rama was today, and this is round 2 for Read-o-Rama, second time I've done it. And I had a goal of reading 7 books, which means basically I'd have to read a book a day. But with the books I picked, they were ones that I felt like I could get through pretty quickly. I finished a book earlier in the week before Read-o-Rama started. So I was grabbing up a book, one from my pile, which is the book I got in last month's Owl Crate, Magonia. It's by Maria-Davana Headley, I think is how you say it. And this book just, oh my goodness. But this one, Magonia, this book is about, and I didn't know it was going to hit me the way it did at all. This book is about a girl who's a 15-year-old girl. Her name's Aza. At least I'm saying her name, Aza. I hope that works. She grows up with some lovely parents who try to take care of her and everything, and a best friend. His name is Jason, who she adores. He's basically her only friend. She also has a sister who's younger than her, and she has this awful chronic illness that they cannot figure out, to the point that they actually name it after her. And it's a breathing illness. It's like having the most severe asthma you could possibly have. She basically cannot process air. She can't breathe like a normal person at all. She gets into coughing fits where she basically passes out or has seizures. Her mother happens to be in the medical profession, and she is trying to save her life essentially by testing on animals and such. And yeah, so already it's just kind of a crazy story. To make it even crazier, she looks out the window in school one day, and she sees ships in the sky. So a little crazier even there. I like Aza in general as a character. Like 4 pages in, I was just like, I love this girl's snark. I even think I may have, I posted that on Goodreads, that I loved her snark. Like her attitude was hilarious to me, and she was so 15, which I think specifically females will understand what I mean when I say she was so 15, but it was just, she was like, it brought me right back to me at 15, and having that attitude, just like, ugh, I'm good by myself, that kind of thing where you're just good as a loner. And I think her illness and her constant just death hovering over her constantly is what forces her to kind of feel like she should put up these walls and be by herself. And then she meets Jason when she's 5, and he is silly and strange and just as weird as she is, just in his own way. They are both voracious readers. They're both constant fact finders and researchers, and just consistently educated, and they bond over that kind of weirdness they have, and then they are just friends from there on out. In the book, she sees these ships and everything, and then they talk of a legend of this place called Magonia, which is a land that lives in the sky. And it's basically ships in the sky and animals and things like that. 11:48 at night. I worked all day. I'm just really, it's kind of like this is exhaustion and grief all at the same time, which is what I want to get to in this review. And yeah, so I was gonna say, ships in the sky. There's ships in the sky, and the world that Maria Davana Headley creates in the sky is so cool. I mean, it's like Avatar meets Peter Pan meets because I just kept thinking of Captain Hook and Avatar at the same time, because every time they describe the people I see was the Avatar people, because the people that live on the ship are blue and stuff. Oh, reason why I know why they're on the ship. And I will put in the description spoiler, because I'm sure I'm going to mention things that are spoilers for the book, so just because. So this is spoilery. I'm just telling you right now. If you don't want to know what happens in this book, stop watching this now, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go into something. I'm gonna try not to like ruin the book for anybody, but it's slightly spoilery. But yeah, she ends up on the ship. She gets taken to the ship. I'm not gonna tell you how, because that was like the craziest scene ever, and it's hilarious and weird and frightening all at the same time. Like how she just ends up there. Not going into that, because you have to experience that for yourself when you read it. Because I put the book down with a what just happened, and then instantly picked it right back up because I had to keep reading it. And I did basically do this in like a day and a half, I think. I don't think it took me 2 days. I'm not even sure. I feel like I started it a day ago. I don't even know. But yeah, she ends up on the ship, and the people are blue, and they have this crazy hair. I swear, it's just Avatar. Just think of the Avatar people, because that's what it makes me think of, are the Avatar people with their hair and the blue and the thing. But anyway, she ends up on the ship and all that. The part of the book, the reason why I wanted to just like sit down and record this right now, is just I feel like, and I posted it on my Twitter, and it was really interesting because the author actually retweeted what I said, which that was pretty cool because I just hashtagged it Magonia. I didn't tag anybody else in it. It was just it was one of those kind of instant observations. I feel like the way that this book deals with grief is beautiful and real and interesting, and it's just really and I'm getting really emotional even talking about it, but it just is helping me process grief that I'm still dealing with. I just had somebody close to me pass away a couple months ago, and it's been interesting. It's been hard to deal with. It's been hard to get used to. And the way that the character Jason and his deals with losing Asa, because that is, again, spoiler part here, that is a big part of the entire story. The way that he deals with that just hit me really hard, and I feel like just reading this helped me kind of process things. So there's that. It's just so beautifully written, and it's so lovely, and it's just, I feel like I enjoyed the fact that you got two perspectives. There are chapters that are written from Asa's point of view, and then there are chapters that are written from Jason's point of view. And again, he's her best friend, who, it's one of those situations where they're best friends who've kind of always been in love with each other, but never really said they were in love with each other. And I love the love in this book. That was like, the second I finished it, that's probably my favorite thing. I love in this book. I love the way that Asa loves Jason. I love the way Jason loves Asa. I love the way that they both love their parents unconditionally and fully, and even through being snarky and crazy and weird, like just they envelop their family, and that there's a lot of family in here is kind of fun. I really actually love that the family characters are not, this is mom and this is dad and they do these things. I mean, like, her mother is in the medical profession trying to cure her daughter's ailments. Her dad threatens to beat up Big Bird for her, which is the cutest thing ever. His parents, he has two moms, which is, hey, diversity right there. He has two moms. And one of his moms is actually like an activist in that, like, she it's all about the environment and stuff, which that was something that was really cool too. I haven't read a book, I don't think ever, that actually talks about change, that actually talks about the environment in general and the things that we as people are doing to the earth in general. And it's just that too. Like, I've never read a book that talked about climate change. Certainly not a YA book that's a fantasy. But that's a big thing in here, is climate change and the environment, and just how Magonia and Earth interact that way. What else? What else was I gonna say? Oh, so there's a phrase that's said in this book. So, okay, we're going to do a little Fault in Our Stars moment here. And I head to the book. So, Fault in Our Stars. So, you know, Fault in Our Stars, like, everybody's obsessed with the whole okay thing, and it's on everything, which is the cutest thing ever, because it really is. It's just adorable the way that happens. And in this, there's a phrase that they say to each other, specifically that Jason says to Asa, which is, you hold no horrors for me. And I think it's like the sweetest thing, and you had go get this book and read this book, and when you get to those moments where he says that to her, tell me you don't want to love like that. I mean, like, that's just, it felt very almost tragic in moments, like Romeo and Juliet, and then it felt so just like adorable and perfect. And every time that phrase is said, though, I was just like, I want that like on a necklace or a bracelet. I want that the way okay is on everything. We need to have you hold no horrors for me on everything from Magonia, because it's just so cute. And again, I love the love in this book, and I love the way it's depicted. I love that it's not how people put it, like insta romance. It's not like that kind of thing. It's not insta love. It's very much deep rooted, and they've been knowing each other since they were 5, and it's always been there. It's very much the best friends falling in love kind of deal. And I love the entire, again, like the whole family aspect, even like the crazy Magonia family stuff. Oh my god, it's just such a good book. And for a book like this to be so awesome and it's under 300 pages. Or it's a little over. I just said that. It's just barely over 300 pages. And there's so much crammed in here, but it does not feel like it's rushing in a way that you don't get any of the story. It doesn't feel like you're missing out on anything. It doesn't feel like they were just trying to fill pages either. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a word count thing. That's how I always put it when I read like an old school book. When you read like really old literature, like classics and stuff that are really wordy, I would say that's word count. That, you know, they used to get paid by the word, so he would put in extra words. So that's why some really classic literature is like so just insanely wordy. And because descriptive writing was considered the rich writing, so there's that. But I feel like there's enough description and enough things for you to fall into this world without it being so overrun with details or overrun with dialogue that you don't get a chance to actually just be immersed in a way that's organic, I guess is the best way to put it. I really felt like I fell into this book completely. Like, I started to read it, and I loved Asa, and then I loved Jason, and then it was just like the second the book began getting into the land of Magonia, I was so lost in this book, like everything else just went away. And I really do I just thank the heavens for everything. I'm so glad that I'm a reader. I'm so glad that I never lost my love for reading, because it's really just helped me process a lot of grief that I've been going through, and not even realize I was still processing. But I probably will for a long time. And some general, like, just discontent, the right word? Could be. I think it is. I think it's the word I'm looking for. Discontent around how I kind of had to deal with it on my own, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. So Magonia is awesome. This is like a weird toned video, and I understand that. It really was. I finished it, and I was like, I want to film it right now, because I really love this book, and I feel like that's kind of a different viewpoint for a review, but I feel like it really did just help me process my grief in a way that I don't think anything else has thus far in the last couple months. I really got into it, and I loved it so much. I really did. This is definitely one of the best things I read this year so far, and another one that I'm keeping. So weird. I'm building a library by accident now. Yeah. So, first day of Read-o-Rama done. Officially, actually, it's midnight right now, so end of first day of Read-o-Rama, and today too. First day of Read-o-Rama done. I got one book done, and it actually kind of, in this, if you watch my Read-o-Rama TBR, this was not on there. Nope. I was gonna finish this before today, and then I kept falling asleep yesterday, so it didn't really work out that way. So this blue on cover. See, even better. Look, when it's naked, it's totally blue. So yeah, so that's one challenge. And then it's also a fantasy book, so definitely a fantasy book. I mean, sky full of ships, people that are blue, fantasy book. So that's 2 challenges technically in 1 book. I am still going to try to get through the stuff that I had picked out, which is 7 other books, so I will have read 8 if I do get through all of those. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to start the next book, which is Layla the Black Tulip, which is the American Girl book, which is my middle grade read, which I already started. So I'm probably about 40 pages into it. I started that when I was in Panera, and I got the book in the first place. So I will see you. I'm going to try to film these every day and do daily Read-o-Rama wrap-ups. So I will see you tomorrow, perhaps. If not tomorrow, then the next day. But probably. I gave this book 5 stars. I absolutely loved this book. It touched me, and I love it. I'm just going to keep saying that. You should read it. If you got your Aloe Great and you got this book, pick it up now and read it. It's lovely. Oh, and I was going to show you. So you know how awesome this cover is? So pretty, right? I love this too. When you get to that, just the title page in the book is just, oh, it's so pretty. And it's just so fun. I feel like if I can find a poster of this, I may put this on my wall because it's just such pretty artwork. Anyway. Oh, I just realized I had all the stuff. See, after you read the book, you see more in the cover. Interesting. Anyway, it's a really cool read. It's fun. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. Hit like if you liked it. Go ahead and leave a comment if you'd like to. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if you're participating in Read-o-Rama, can you let me know? And if you're participating in Read-o-Rama, how many challenges do you have? How many books have you read? Are you doing alright? Is it cool? Is it fun? Are you reading Magonia too? Because there's a couple people I saw that posted pictures of their TBRs, and they're also going to be reading Magonia. So kind of excited. I like when we're all reading kind of the same stuff. It's kind of fun. Yeah, because then you can talk books already. Have you read Magonia yet? Did you love it too? Or are you one of the people that didn't? Because I saw some reviews of people that really didn't like it. I also saw some reviews. Oh, this is totally the end of the video, but I'm gonna throw this out there anyway. I saw a review of Goodreads in which somebody said they stopped reading the book due to F-bombs and due to the swearing in the book. And I would just like to point out that Asa is 15 years old and she has been dying her whole life. I think she's warranted to use a few F-bombs here and there, and the only thing she says is a few F-bombs and shits in there a couple times, and that's it. It's no worse than TV on a normal weeknight. I mean, really, it's not terrible. I thought that was really interesting that somebody would just stop reading something because really, in general, the F-bombs all come in like, I think there's like 2 places in the entire book where they're used, and I think total is probably like 5 in the book. It's not an abundance, it's not crazy, and please don't let that deter you from reading the book because it's just a really, really good book.